think we're getting ready to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Okay, we're live on YouTube at least. I'm not sure how the Facebook stream is. We have a special guest on the show today. Craig Connolly is here. Craig is from Dan Rascal, the video production company in Ottawa. They create probably in my opinion, the best video content in Ottawa. Craig likes that. He's a sucker for for flattery that way, so
Yeah,
that's good. Yeah.
Thanks, George.
So thanks for coming on the show today.
Thank you.
We are going to be talking about how to shoot and edit and produce vertical formatted video.
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of a follow-up to what we talked about last week with IGTV versus YouTube, and this has kind of been, we kind of talked about this offline. You kind of got me thinking about how vertical video is not just a novelty, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, it's interesting. We're in an interesting time for this vertical video.
Totally, and it's not going anywhere.
Well, you know, there's some people I know who are like, it's a fad. It's going to disappear.
Yes.
This is a trend.
Yeah.
But what I think is interesting is, regardless or not, if you can capitalize and leverage on the
Sure.
new aspect ratio, then you know you're in a good place. And if it goes away, it goes away. And if not, whatever.
Yeah. One thing we do know is Facebook cares about this tremendously. Facebook has over 1 billion users. They have done user testing on this, and they know that when people look at the landscape versus square versus the tall vertical ones, they engage more with the vertical ones. So we know they're going to put all the powers that they have behind vertical video and make it work.
Do you have stats on that?
Well, I did read an article before this. I don't have them here that I'm going to pull
Okay.
up, but basically they tested it and went, yeah, the vertical one, people watched it longer.
Okay.
They engaged with it more.
Why do you think that is?
Because it's a mobile world we live in. So most of these people, I'm sure, are watching on their phones,
Yeah.
in which case they get to see, they like the vertical video. That's the short of it.
They're already on it, right?
They're already on it, yeah.
And it
Yeah,
feels
you're on
good.
it here, I'm on it here,
And
so
it feels right.
it does feel right, yeah.
Yeah.
So before I get started, I'm going to show you a quick clip of Craig's company's demo reel. So let's have a look at this. Geraldine, if we can pull up the other view, and I'll play the clip for us. But basically, it's the demo reel from Dan Rascal. I like this dude with flames.
That was a battery box. Their product never went anywhere. It's not battery box. Jediing, you know, important skill. I can do a director's commentary on our own reel. This is incredible.
I know, yeah. We'll see how well our audio mix turned out.
Okay. So we have a mix of branded documentaries, of animated work, and what we like to call narrative ad work
Yeah.
in this piece.
Tons of motion graphic stuff here too.
Yeah.
It's incredible work. I'm super impressed. So Jared, we can probably switch back to the main view now and just chat here. So as always, I'm watching your comments in here. There's already tons of people talking about how vertical must die.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
see. Michael
Haters.
Graves.
Haters.
Haters on vertical.
Okay.
Bring
it on.
We've got Stefan here. We've got Thomas, BBI. So thanks for everybody for watching. Please comment in the chat, and we'll try to answer any questions you have. We're going to pull a bit of gear later. We're going to talk about how to shoot vertical video. So let's talk about it. You've done some vertical video stuff, right?
Yeah, we're just getting into it. We're feeling it out and experimenting.
Yeah, you like it?
I love it. I love the
Yeah.
idea of a new kind of language that you have to learn.
Yeah.
Of working with restrictions. I feel like when you work with certain.
You like the challenge?
I love the challenge.
Yes.
Yeah, and that always breeds innovation, right?
Yes.
So, you know, there was 4:3, and then there was widescreen, and then.
Yes.
4K and everything, and now people, of course, are hating because it's forcing them to. People don't like change, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Depends on who you are, but yeah, we're experimenting with this new 9:16, and we're going to see if we have success with it. I think we're in a good spot. We have some cool stuff already we've made.
Yeah, we're going to pull up a few clips later from Craig's company that they've done with some people you'll know, and you'll like that. But before we get into that, let's talk about some of the ways you might shoot vertical video. So the first one is the obvious way. You're going to use your phone, right?
Yeah, you can use your phone, or you can use any other camera as well. But there's considerations that you have to make before you shoot.
So
those.
if I don't want to use my phone and I want to use
so maybe you're using like.
What is this?
This is just a DSLR.
Okay.
Right. So obviously, the viewfinder is horizontal in your 16:9 aspect ratio. So, you obviously have to find a way to mount sideways if you're working with a camera like this.
Yes. Okay.
And most ball head tripods, will allow you to do that.
So you're not going to need necessarily new kit just to mount it sideways.
Exactly. So you can go with the solution with the supportive gear. So with a tripod that has like a ball head like this.
Okay.
Right. So you adjust and then it goes sideways.
Okay. Pretty straightforward.
Yeah. Or if you want to not go through that rigmarole and you want to like shoot on your regular DSLR or a bigger camera, say you have a Red or a Blackmagic.
Yes.
Then all you're doing is before you shoot, go into your editing software, get the aspect, set your preferences as 9:16.
Okay.
Do a little video. You'll have black pillar bars on either side.
So basically, through your viewport, so you can see, you're basically going to crop it in post. That's
Exactly.
what you mean? Okay.
But what I mean is, like, before you go shooting and you're planning to shoot, do that first, so you can tape on your screen. You just upload that image to your, and then exactly
and
where
you literally put tape on your
You
viewfinder.
can put tape on it, and then even though you're shooting bigger, you can crop in, and that works obviously better with 2K and up. If you're shooting on. If you're doing that on a DSLR that's 1920 by 1080, you're going to punch in, but you're going to lose quality on the image. So I suggest punching in when it's 2K or higher. But
so this isn't like, I like the idea of if you're shooting 4K, you can get away with that. But I also think you have to kind of commit. Like if you're going to go with this vertical video, like it's going to be hard to always try to repurpose video that you shoot for. You're going to think, oh, I'm just going to walk in, we'll shoot it. Typical 16:9, and then in post we'll figure out how to make the vertical crop of it. I think that would be a nightmare.
Yeah, I think it makes sense to, shoot something with intentionality.
Yeah, of course.
Right? And with a process and a stream. So you should prep for vertical, you should shoot vertical, and you should edit vertical.
Yeah, but that's going to come an opportunity where they're going to say, we want the vertical for this, and we want the typical 16:9. So here we go. Geraldine has put up a very helpful little. This is a 9:16 view, so if we wanted to do today's show here, we would have to somehow get very intimate here in a hurry.
Yeah, well, I could sit on your lap.
Yeah, we talked about some variations, how we could make this work, but ultimately, it's going to be kind of awkward if we try to do this in post, right?
Yeah, this is strange.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Yeah, I know you a little bit. But.
We can split screen as a thing, right? So we can split. And
yeah, that's true. I have seen the one up here,
up top and below,
one up here, and then one down here.
And you don't want to split this way.
Yeah.
Unless but rules are meant to be broken too. I think that.
Yeah. That's good, Jared. That's neat to see how that could work. Stefan is commenting here saying, let's just pull this up.
I think it's important that. If you're shooting with the intention of vertical, there's so much content out there that lends itself to vertical, and I think the fun and the challenge is finding what that content is and how to leverage it.
Yeah.
So, for example, say it's on a lumber, you're doing a branded dock on a saw company, and this guy goes out into the Tofino and cuts down huge redwood. No, he doesn't cut down huge redwoods, but he cuts down trees.
Yes.
That lends itself, right?
Yeah, okay.
To that kind of, or a guy who plays a saxophone and he drives a cheap
saxophone, yes. Or flute, no.
I know these seem like silly examples, but the saxophone guy, he's a real guy.
Yes.
In Ottawa, and he plays in a roundabout, and I've seen him every day on the way to work, and I'm driving by, and it's like
the perfect.
It's like a little snapshot.
I see, okay.
It feels like Instagram,
so
and I'm like, who is this guy?
This is neat. It's like you're saying we need to rethink the kind of critical eye that we use for determining what a good shot is.
I think as creatives and producers.
I like that.
Yeah.
So I'd never really addressed your comment, Stefan. You're talking about, he's asking about what the best resolution is for IGTV. Do you happen to know that off the top of your head?
Well, I think it's 1920 by 1080.
1080 by 1920.
But you can shoot 4K and you can, post-convert down, and it's even... I think
so if you were to try to shoot 1920 by 1080 into a crop, you'd have a fairly low-res version for your IGTV.
Well, one interesting thing that we're finding, it's a bit of a glitch in the process and the workflow is if you upload your videos to IGTV and you review them on a desktop on the IGTV tab, it won't play. We just get a spinny circle still.
Oh.
So it's either too much resolution for the desktop
It's a little hiccup
software to
there,
handle. So, but it plays on the phone fine.
Yeah.
So
For us, the one application we have been using vertical videos is for our ads that we run on Facebook. So we run certain ad campaigns on Facebook, and the vertical ones seem to have worked out much better for us than any kind of horizontal one that we do
awesome.
historically. So.
Yeah. And what kind of content is that generally?
Well, we're generally trying to market our product. So we're sitting in a room full of Pro Minis right now because it's our latest product, and we're trying to market that. So.
Right, and the Pro Mini's this way, so the challenge becomes how do you shoot stuff this way? But
exactly, no, it is.
do you believe in horizontal, directions saying like, oh, okay, you're watching this video, turn the phone this way?
Yeah, we talked about that. I've watched a few videos where they suggest turn your phone this way, and I think it's just horrible practice.
I don't like it too much.
It's one of these kind of against the grain tools. It's like it feels right when you're holding your phone this way.
Yeah.
And if you're using an app that is oriented that way, and all the text within that app is oriented that way, then to suddenly have one piece of content within that app tell you to go the other way, it doesn't work.
Well, it's a barrier.
It is a barrier. YouTube works because it's all responsive and it works nicely that way. But
okay.
but even speaking of YouTube, even they're doing vertical video formats.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, I've pulled up a few already that have come up. Where you don't realize it's vertical video like on a desktop experience, but if you were to watch it natively in a browser on your phone, it will crop it nicely for you.
Cool.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see like if people repurpose for different platforms, but I believe.
You mean doing one shot?
Well,
and
like on Vimeo, like they upload their IGTV 9:16 and it's on Vimeo now, and
it's a bit funny.
Like, are you over diluting your content by spreading it too thin across? I do believe that you make something for that platform.
Yeah.
And that's the way to go.
Yeah.
But
you're a purist.
different people have
I
different
like that.
thoughts on that.
One of the other things that you kind of mentioned there is the idea of doing panning in post. So I shoot this widescreen, just like the shot you're looking at right now, and we pan in post from me to Craig, or we do cuts, that kind of thing. And you can kind of make that work, but I don't think it'll be great.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, you have a very narrow field of view.
Yes.
So panning left and right quick, you're probably going to make people ill.
It's going to be
so
because it's going to look kind of jumpy. Is that what you mean?
It's going to look kind of jumpy. I mean, it does work in the piece that we have to show people today. There is a moment where the camera goes fast from left to right, and it's an audience. It's a crowd shot.
Yeah.
And it works. It works. So sometimes it works.
Okay.
I think though, if it's very involved and complex, and there's a lot of moving parts to what you're shooting, then it's too dizzying, it's too much, it's too quick.
We have a few comments here from BBI Productions. IGTV is not live, it's uploaded recorded doings, that's right. IGTV not really doing it live yet, but we're hopeful it's coming because we make live streaming equipment, and more the merrier in that regard. Stefan's also commenting, what about Facebook? George mentioned that Facebook also goes for it. So yes, Facebook likes live and Facebook likes vertical. So Facebook likes everything. In fact, you can do square videos. You can do whatever you want there, just about, and it all works. So keep the comments coming. This is great. What else do we want to talk about with this? You had some thoughts before we came in here.
I think it's interesting that it's not necessarily a new aspect ratio. It is in video, but it's not if we think about movie posters or we think about bus stop advertisements or newspapers or comic books.
Yeah, you're
so
right.
We're not offended by those. We're not offended by those platforms, and so
right. That's a good way of looking at it.
How can filmmakers and video production companies look back at those old mediums and find successes in those things and translate them over now to video? I think that's kind of cool.
I think you're right. I think there's this, like some of our commenters here talking about like how they hate vertical video. I suspect, I don't know, that we're not used to it and that we will.
Yeah.
It's like, you look at the first Egyptian drawings, every single person was drawn in profile.
Oh, yeah.
For thousands of years.
Yeah.
People only ever represented someone with a profile. And then one day, someone figured it out to draw a face.
I'm interested to know what Marshall McLuhan would say about
Yeah.
being the medium is the message and stuff,
exactly.
what he would say about this. But
totally.
It's very, very interesting.
It is, yeah. So this is great. We've covered a lot of the how to shoot vertical video. When it comes to editing, is there any kind of special considerations that you and your company or would take?
So in planning your video, I think you want to make sure. I think the 3-second rule applies.
Yeah.
So from research that I've done, most people will swipe away from your IGTV video in the very first frame.
So you have 3 seconds to get it right after that.
And it's the first frame. It's the first second that people are doing the most swiping. So if they don't see a strong image
Okay, wow, that's a lot of pressure.
and maybe some text,
Yes.
I think it's important that you let people know what they're getting themselves into.
Yeah.
So you're doing that, one, with the first second frame of your video,
Yeah.
and with text and a strong image,
Yeah.
and two, with the image that you're using as your cover photo for it. And that also needs to be just as strong. Maybe have some text.
Yeah, okay.
Other considerations, sound. So if you're shooting on a phone, the audio on this is crap.
Yeah, of course.
So you need to have a solution. So an external audio recording solution.
Yeah.
Something like, I always wanted to do this, like something like, and you like pull something into frame, something like a Zoom.
Yes.
With better mics than this, but using the inputs.
Yeah. No, we have a lot of fans of the Zoom. We also have fans of the Zoom Q4, Q8, Q2, something like that. They're like a combination of that with a great little camera on it as well.
Other things, I think, directing people's eyes. So, thinking about movement and camera movement from top to bottom instead of left to right.
Yeah.
That traditional landscape with the stagecoach
Totally.
going this way.
That's hard. Just when I'm thinking about how to produce a shot, it's very different.
Yeah. What about a mountain climber going up, or a guy climbing a ladder? I mean, these are very...
No, you're right. You're right. We have to change the content.
Window washers. I want
to
see an ad on IGTV about window washers.
Yeah.
I want to see
I like
tree
this.
climbers, guys who make tree houses.
Mm-hmm.
Give me something. One example.
Bananas.
Okay, banana.
BBI is also talking about first 3 seconds need to be clickbait. Well, they don't need to be bait because you're not necessarily trying to trick people into thinking the rest of the video is good. They just have to be really good.
I think you have to think it's interesting.
Yeah.
As the editor.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah, we get this all the time. So we make content plans when we make a marketing piece, how are we going to roll it out? And the one thing I get from every person on our team who's asking for a piece of video content, they say, we need a 15-second thing or we need a 30-second thing, but make sure that the first 3 seconds are like out of this world good. Yeah.
And we're also talking within under the umbrella of, what's the reason you're even showing this video? I'm talking from the perspective of a production company.
Yes, okay.
That sells advertising skill sets, to brands to help promote their products and services. So these rules may not. This is good fodder for if this is your job and
yes,
you want to influence and you want to engage.
Yeah.
If you're just shooting for fun, just shoot for fun.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
Yeah,
we get caught up in talking about our own marketing world. No talking heads then. What does Michael mean by that? Bungee jumping, good example.
Oh yeah, great.
Yeah. I like that. So I'm interested to see how this vertical video format is going to change the content that we see.
Split screen's a thing, right? Did we we talked about that.
Top, bottom, split screen instead of the left, right.
Animation also, like vertical, you can really do a lot with animation.
That's true, yeah.
Of course, animation is costly and takes time, but if you have the resources, I think developing campaigns for brands in a vertical, in that vertical aspect ratio is exciting, especially in animation.
Yeah. I haven't seen any feature films come out in a vertical format yet.
No, but I'd love to see, at least some ads done vertical. It's gonna have. You're gonna see
the ads
a
I have
ton.
seen, but I want to see
a feature.
Do we see some kind of even a 10-minute, a web series or something like that?
Well, Sean Baker did Tangerine on his phone, and he shot it horizontal. So, it's just we're not far off from shooting features on phones.
Michael Graves says, "Why are you not shooting vertical now? This show is about vertical video."
I was thinking about that when I came on.
So we talked about this, Michael, and it's a very good point. I was frankly scared to do it because we publish so much to our YouTube viewers, and I didn't think they'd like it. So tell me if I'm wrong.
But it says something about where we're at, right?
Yeah.
How there's some reservation.
Yeah,
and there's some thinking to do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got to consider it because I didn't want to produce 2 productions and do one vertical one and have to do a separate horizontal one. Maybe if we get into doing something like an IGTV channel or something like that, then we do specifically vertical stuff for that channel.
Yeah.
Martin talking about travel videos could work well for this format. That's a great comment. I agree.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's a natural fit.
I have notes down here, so if people are, I'm looking down, I'm not depressed about this and how this is going. But
Yeah.
another thing I wanted to mention, George, is authenticity as it relates to this new format. So by authenticity, I mean the authenticity of the content.
Yes.
So stories came out, and people were just like capturing all these little bits of life,
Yes.
and it resonates with the public
Yeah.
because it's real, it's real
Yes.
life.
Mhm.
And I think you need to differentiate between what's going to be a story and what's going to be an IGTV piece.
Which I've had a hard time figuring out, but
So my thought on that is, and again, rules can be broken, but I think the authenticity of if it's timely, you want it to be timely
Yes.
or timeless, right? I think
Yeah,
IGTV pieces should be a little more timeless, meaning there's a little more curation, there's a little more polish, and you can refer back to those things. Whereas the stories are
Can be more of a throwaway?
experiential one-offs that
Okay.
you don't care to watch again.
Yeah.
But I think that's the difference between those two
Yeah.
things. And again, back to authenticity. I think in our culture there's an exhaustion of narrative. There's all these micro narratives coming at us from advertising and from Instagram and things that people are kind of tired of, like getting hit over the head with all these narratives that are kind of the same. And I think when they see something that's off the cuff with a little curation and polish,
feels fresh.
and
Yeah.
that's what people resonate with.
Cameron is talking about next vertical how-to video. Okay, I can pull this up. Multiple cameras shooting vertically and framed side by side. Now that's actually neat because we could be shooting vertical here, horizontal like you're seeing it here, and have some kind of vertical camera over there. Because then we're in a more of a vertical
Yeah.
format. That's a total challenge.
Yeah,
and
for
it
sure.
hurts my head to think about how to make that production work.
But you could do it.
But you could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could do it.
I could do it.
Why don't we pull up a video sample that I want to show you?
Do you want me to throw to it?
Yeah, okay.
So we had a really great opportunity to shoot with Tweed and at their front yard shindig that happened recently.
So Tweed is a company here in Canada. Canada is new to marijuana, and Tweed is going to help distribute that marijuana across Canada.
Yeah. So we were there for the opening of their visitor center, and there was a bit of a party with a special guest.
So let's have a look here.
So you can see how some of the shots, we're choosing what we're showing in the piece based on the photograph.
And are you on camera for this?
Yes, I was on camera. I was on camera and Heath was on camera.
Okay. Oh, that's you right there?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got two cameras.
We're rocking two cameras.
And are you doing a crop on these?
Yeah, we're cropping. So this was 4K.
Okay, so you shot 4K,
4K
and then cropped it down.
and cropped according to what
Did you have your, like what you talked about? Did you put
we
tape on?
didn't even put tape up. So, I mean, that comes from experience. kind of
Okay,
knowing.
you're saying you can figure it out.
Yeah, but if you need that marker, that guide, you can certainly do it.
How was Snoop?
He's amazing. He's a true performer. He goes from room to room. We went on a tour with him and through the facility, and literally every room, he's like scanning above the camera. He's not looking at the camera. He's a pro. He's a pro.
Jared, we can switch back to the main camera now because our video's over. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, he's everything you'd think he is.
Snoop.
Yeah,
Lucky you.
it was fun.
That's a good gig to get. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to get that call. All right. Snoop needs us. Stefan is commenting that there's so many green boxes back here. You're right, Stefan. We're just swimming in them. I don't know what to do with them all. And he says that we'd give away some. And you're not the first person to suggest that. And if nothing else, we should do more giveaways on this show, I think. So let us know. You don't get anything. You're a guest. Yeah, maybe we should do some more giveaways, some trivia, that kind of stuff. That would make things kind of fun in here, right?
Yeah.
You haven't done that?
Yeah. We're doing that now?
Not right now.
Okay. Sorry, everybody.
Get you all excited. But I'd like to start doing it soon, so we'll get that rolling in the next couple of weeks. Anything else we want to talk about today before we go? I'm really appreciated. We've been trying to get these guys in here for a while, so I'm glad you got to come in
Yeah.
and look around a bit.
Yeah. No, I think that's good. If anyone, you got some. If there's any more questions, maybe we answer a question before we go. But
Yeah, if you've got any questions about shooting horizontal video or even shooting video in general, because Craig here is kind of a guru when it comes to making nice looking videos. So,
But no, I think. I did. There is a. I don't know if I should read this quote. I brought a quote.
okay, go ahead.
Yeah?
Read it out.
Okay.
Sure. This is a quote about vertical video and the why. Am I right?
Yeah. So this person is talking about. His name is Mike Platko, and he's from 1015 Creative.
Okay.
And yeah, he says, if your content is going to be vertical, then there is no reason you shouldn't be thinking vertically from start to finish. Storyboarding, set design, filming, and editing should all be done in a vertical
So that goes back to
format.
what you're saying, being intentional about
Yeah.
what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
And that makes perfect sense.
And it's a long quote, so I'll just skip to the last line. Shot search is too zoomed in. The footage has trouble keeping up with characters that are panning across the screen. So again, he's referring to the panning. But yeah, other people are expressing these
These are challenges.
yeah, these
But
challenges.
we're going to get to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that about wraps it up for us. Any talk of, sorry, one more comment here. Not sure if we covered this. Any talk of masking a reference monitor? Yes, we talked about that, Cameron. Totally. Great idea to get a little safe zone so you can kind of know what you're shooting. So let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here.
Okay, man.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We're going to be here again next week. I don't know what our show is going to be next week. If you have any ideas, put them in the chat and send us an email, live@epiphan.com. Subscribe to our channel. We like that. It's good for us. It's good for you. You get all these great videos in your feed. And thanks to Craig for coming in today.
Thank you,
Yeah.
George.
All
Love
right.
you, man.
Love you. And that's a wrap. Yeah.